Hey, what's up, everyone? Morey Croson here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Lachlan Kennedy's world leading 6.43 60m. We're going to go and hop right into it here. And one of the most impressive things I would say about this is his farmer's tan. I don't know if I've ever seen anybody have that solid of a farmer's tan. The only person I would say is competition would be this one, but that's just really impressive in how big of a difference we see with his arms compared to his back. That's just my opinion. I don't know if there's other people that have seen worse. I am in LA, so I feel like we might be able to get more sun. But Australia, you should be able to get more sun in Australia. I think that there's plenty of sun out there. Obviously enough for the arms. Next thing that we want to look into though is going to be the hips high, chin tucked. I mean, we just see this so many times, and somebody actually made a comment on the Noah Lyles video about how that didn't actually have a big impact in comparing Trayvon Bromell and Noah Lyles. But I just think that watching time and time again, the guys with the higher hips, guys with the more chin tucked, are able to get more hips into that initial push off, and then can get that front foot down a little bit quicker, a little bit sooner, and maintain that weight onto the front leg. I think he does a really good job of being able to initiate that first movement out of that back foot to make it so he's able to get straight down and straight through. He's really good with his left foot. I think his right foot definitely needs to work on some of the range to make it so he's landing more with that heel up, where he's consistently landing with that right foot a lot more outward. So he's lacking some internal rotation of that right hip, which would just impact his ability to generate as much force into the ground. The more turned out you are with that foot, then you're just not going to be able to generate as much force. Now, he's still able to do a good job of being quick with his foot contact. He's very efficient with the landing, so we can see how he's turning to push off there to make it so he's still effective with the start. But I think what's going to be a critical thing for him to work on to get better, right, to get into that sub 6'4" range, is going to be working on how he's striking the ground with the right foot. I think he does so many good things with the left. He's actually maybe too much internally rotated on the left, where he has like too much strength and power there, because he does such a good job of getting that leg through, getting that toe inwards, that as he's striking the ground, I mean, that's just so textbook that I almost feel like maybe that's why he can't do it on the right side as well. It's because he's just too good with it on the left. And a lot of times you just need a little bit of some difference between the right and the left in order to be effective. But yeah, really, really good. That's, if you watch all these steps, you could just see this is exactly what you would want your left foot to look like as it's striking the ground during acceleration. I mean, that is, again, just as good as you can get. He gets a little bit high, a little bit early with the feet, in my opinion. I'm always big on trying to get the foot out in front a little bit more effectively, but worked out for him. Again, 643. He did have a 1.6 win, so that's a pretty good tailwind that's going to help you be able to get into the top speed, make it so you're going to be able to cover more distance per step, which is great. And what stands out here is as he's transitioning from his start, I mean, he obviously had a great acceleration. He does a really good job of being able to maintain that forward lean in his spine. That's what stands out when watching even some of his other races, is he's a very just kind of forward lean athlete. So he's going to continue to maintain all of his body weight going there. I think he actually might have done a better job standing up in this race, which may have helped him in being able to maintain this lead, because you could tell his top speed is not his strong suit. His strong suit is definitely more into the acceleration, but a lot of times he'll end up getting a little bit too far out in front as he gets into the later half of the race, where he's just leaning so high that now his foot gets stuck back behind. I think that's an important thing to be able to consider for athletes, is like, as you're accelerating, you want to have that right balance where you are putting a lot of force in the ground and obviously getting a strong push to make it so then you're getting a very horizontal. But I'll see sometimes people like John Ross is a great example of it with his 40-yard dash, where he gets so far forward, he gets such a strong push that now he starts to lose control of the leg going back behind and isn't able to get that foot right back underneath as well. That's something that Usain Bolt just did so well, is he was able to have such a strong push off, but then got his foot right back underneath him. Noah Lyles does it really good as well to make it so that he can get into that next step. And I think that's something that again, you want to be able to understand. First, you got to be great with the push. You want to work the push, make it so you're able to accelerate first 30 meters at a very high level. But now, once you get great at the acceleration, that's the easiest part too. It's easier to work on the acceleration. You get at the acceleration. It's hard to be able to then translate that into consistently building top speed to make it so then 30 to 60 is good during indoor, or 30 to 100 is good as you get into the outdoor season. And that's what really makes athletes special, is can you go from 30 meters to 100 meters and still be able to accelerate or get into those elite top speeds. And a lot of times what ends up happening for athletes when they struggle is they're just getting their foot stuck back behind rather than being able to maintain a good push off. And one of the things that I think ends up being important here is, as you're absorbing or as that foot's coming off the ground, you just want to get this heel to get straight up. A lot of times when I see people that will get stuck with their foot back behind, they're just not getting as good a positioning within the heel, or they'll start turning, or when their foot's coming off the ground, their foot will start turning inwards. You can't obviously see that here if he is, but it looks like he's doing a good job of pushing straight back. But we'll see guys that will end up getting their foot kind of turning inwards a little bit. You might do it a little bit right there, which then again makes it so it's just harder to control your foot as it's coming straight through. The best athletes are able to push hard through those 60 meters, but then as they're getting into that top speed, can control the amount of power that their foot ends up generating, or their legs are generating, to make it then they can cycle back through and maintain a good strong foot strike. One of the great things with him though is look at how good he's doing at landing on the front part of the foot, even as he gets going here. That left foot, just very, very good. That's why I ran 6.43. Just very, very technically sound with that left foot strike. So as always, guys, I hope you liked the information. If you did, click that thumbs up down below, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, comments, recommendations, leave those down below. Check out some of these other great videos now, and we'll talk to you soon.